Operation Dudula was issued with an interdict. Operation Dudula. I told you that that movement of hate will be stopped one of these days. The interdict was issued by the court to stop them. You know what? One of the things that they stop them to do, they are not allowed to ask any other person for documentation. Only the police and immigration officers are allowed to do so. And the interdict clearly stated that no one is allowed to ask anything from no one. They always claim that no, we are lawful. No, now they have to comply with the interdict. It's a court interdict. They had like a plan to do operation in schools in January, December type of stuff. They are not allowed. If they ever do, they will get they will cry again. You remember that lady who was crying? They will cry again. So anybody who think Operation Dudula is a political movement, is a political party, let's see what are they going to campaign with. Because their mandate was Abahambe. Now the Abahambe thing is stopped by the interdict. Now let's see what are they going to campaign with. Let's see. I know in their life nowadays they had the great R syllabus. They'll be like, oh, what's next to the ocean? What's the ocean? I hope they continue with that great R syllabus in their life in TikTok, because they have no absolute mandate other than hating on other African foreigners. They don't have any mandate. So let's see this political party, these people who promote hate speech. They are also stopped from promoting hate speech. So you know what? As South African, I am glad that they are stopped, and they need to be stopped. You can't use other people as a political way of getting to the parliament. I mean, people are not that stupid. I mean, look at the votes. They didn't even vote for you guys. 3%. Now, since you are not allowed to use Mabahambe, you're gonna get 0. I'm out.
Good news coming from South Africa. Operation Dudula, the vigilante group that goes around targeting foreigners and non-South Africans that are of African origin, has been ordered to stop their activities by the court. The court has interdicted Operation Dudula that they should stop intimidating African migrants, stop looting their businesses, stop denying them healthcare by going into hospitals and pulling them out of the beds, and stop pulling little children out of school because you feel that they are not South African. While some of these people will go into school and be denying little children education, and they will look at the skin color and they say, no, this one is dark, it can't be South African. And in so doing, having denying their own South African citizens because they believe South Africans are not dark-skinned. And these are black people. They'll go into school and look at children that are dark and pull them out of schools and say, no, you're a foreigner. And your parents are not supposed to send you to this school. They've been doing that for years now, and now the court has actually stopped them on their tracks. Thanks to the South African court for allowing cool heads to reign and for bringing justice. Justice, yes. Because all the operations of Operation Dudula are basically against the South African liberal and peaceful constitution. And secondly, if you want to become a politician in South Africa and you're a nobody before, all you just have to do is go on the streets and say Korea must go, and a lot of people will follow you. When you say foreigners must go, a lot of people will follow you. And after that, you register a political party, you contest in the elections. And if you just get a little portion of the votes, maybe 1%, you are already in parliament. And this is the trick a lot of people are using, like Emma Mashaba and this guy that is a sports minister, Mackenzie. All they just have to do is say foreigners must go. some xenophobic people will follow them and vote for them, and boom, they are in parliament and their tunes change and they start eating money. So, thanks to the South African court, and I hope there can be a peaceful resolution to anything, to everything. Nyabonga.
Fellow South Africans, Africans in particular, Operation Dudula's actions has been declared unlawful by the courts of this country. So the Johannesburg High Court has just declared the actions by Operation Dudula as unlawful, and that the law enforcement needs to act whenever this anarchist group, this group of radicals, nincompoops who goes around harassing Africans who are in the country, stopping them from accessing the health care, stopping them from accessing schools and whatnot, and that is against humanity. All right. So the court of this country has pronounced itself to say that is criminality. So you, as an African brother, African sister, if you get stopped or asked questions by this group of charlatans, you don't have to answer. And we've been saying this all along to say, you don't have to. Really, an Operation Dudula minion asking you about your papers, that where's your papers, where's your papers? These are not law enforcement. This is a group of unemployed rascals in the township who survived through extortions. So don't give them time, right? So it's about time this Operation Dudula minions are really taken to task. So we appreciate and welcome the court ruling to say, really, we need to restore the dignity of black people, irrespective of where they come from. So we welcome the ruling indeed. And our African brothers and sisters, you don't have to answer to these criminals, so to speak. In relation to those who are trading in Johannesburg, CBD and everywhere else, I know that there is a cleaning whatever going on in preparation for G20. The courts has also declared that they've given Johannesburg, counsel to really speed up the process within which those who qualifies must be given the permit to operate, and those who are undocumented, for obvious reasons, you'll not get a chance to really operate on the streets. So the courts have ruled in favor of street workers who are actually selling in Small Street and everywhere else in Johannesburg. So Johannesburg Council must actually ensure that, in line with their bylaws, get to make sure that those who qualifies must go back to the streets and occupy those streets of Johannesburg, so to speak.
When we tell you that this war and this world now need education, people think we're just hating on some people. There is Judge Adams saying they are interdicting Operation Dudula from stopping anyone from entering hospitals, from harassing the foreigners. It's not me, it's the court. Because the court is the judge, and the judges, they are the one who knows how to apply the law that are the laws of this country. Not me, not Operation Dudula. The courts are the only place where the debate about the laws and the constitutionality of anything can be debated. And are we not vindicated when the court tells you that Operation Dudula are wrong? And we've been telling you this, that Operation Dudula are wrong. And we're not saying we want foreigners to come here without papers, but we're saying your approach, it's very wrong. That's why even the court itself says you are wrong. And we've been saying this. I don't know how many times must one speak about this group of people that, guys, go back, do things differently. This Puma Silwe, let's fight, Mabahambe, it doesn't work. There's a law. South Africa it's a lawful country, it's a constitutional democratic state. You can never get away with that. That's why I think after today's judgment by Judge Adam that says they are interdicting Operation Dudula from stopping or anyone entering hospitals and so on. It's a good one for not for me, not for what, but for the law. We are a lawful country. We're not a lawless country. And if we allow Operation Dudula to keep doing what they're doing, it means we are promoting lawlessness. And if we can allow such a vigilante group to do that, we can allow any other group to do whatever they want. The key here is the country has laws, and those laws must be abided to. That's what needs to happen. It's a simple thing. Why are the foreigners coming without papers and what and those things? Maybe that's the war that Operation Dudula must take to court. And then maybe if they've got proper lawyers, they'll be able to force government to make sure that such doesn't happen. But this one of going and stopping these people in hospitals and schools and so on, you won't win. We said you're going to go to jail. If you do this again, you're going to have to go to jail because you'll be against the court. And we've said this. Just go reason as a group of small Dudulians, reason about these things. Look at them beyond emotions. You realize the chances are you're going to end up going to jail if you don't follow what the court is saying.
Bafowethu, so taba ela ya Operation Dudula ela ya bona go gating ba jigisa di foreigners or ba access medical care mo ditleliniking tsa mo South Africa ba irutsi ba re daso aba sa nyaka nthola ne ba irang ya ba eme mo di gating daso ba check di passport ba check di ID hore mang o iralang mang o tlhaga mang ke mo dova mang o tsene ka di back door ba re ya ho sna di pampiri tsela di ID ne ba o botsa gore mmereko ho ka re mo vereko fela ba o tlhaba setlhako ba o jigisa a o grade dipilisi a o grade painkiller. So now when go koto this thing by roots, but if there's anyone auto operating on Operation Dudula, auto jigisa the foreigners or back medical care, South Africa, but auto banale penalty, but batwara. So nobody one mistake fella bagramo to fell or na naira ba to bale check the passport or check in Takatagano, bona, trongo. So get Takataga no mawaza bafut to go Johannesburg High Court by Tilestem or bafut, Aresanya Ganyaka Takatagano. What's a mang horobona. Wiralanga enar mo vereko a re 60 ono motsantsa ka gate wana le security motho a thuse a kra medical care. So ba rutsi ba fothu anything like this ke crime. And
now the Gauteng High Court has issued a landmark judgment against the Operation Dudula, which prevents them from taking actions that target foreign nationals. And here's a detailed summary for the court's ruling. My name is Alokwan, and these are the news that matter the most. Now, the court has granted an interdict against Operation Dudula, which restrains them from intimidating, harassing, or assaulting foreign nationals. It also restrains them from demanding identity documents from private individuals to prove their right to be in South Africa. It also restrains Operation Dudula from interfering with access to healthcare services, schools, and education facilities, and unlawfully evicting foreign nationals from their homes or trading stalls. And it also restrains them from making public statements that constitute hate speech based on nationality, social origin, or ethnicity. Now, the court declared that only immigration officers or police officers have the power to demand identity documents from individuals, and private citizens, including Operation Dudula members, have no authority to demand documents or enforce immigration laws unless explicitly empowered by the law. The court also said warrantless searches are not authorized in private places, including homes and places of study, work, or business. Police officers must have reasonable suspicions before asking individuals to identify themselves as citizens, foreigners, or permanent residents. Now, the court also emphasized the government's responsibility, which is to protect the rights of foreign nationals and prevent xenophobic violence, to take responsibility measures to combat xenophobia, racism, and related forms of unfair discrimination. Now, the court's judgment is seen as a significant victory for human rights advocates and a reminder that South Africa's constitutional protection apply to all individuals regardless of nationality or legal status. Now, this judgment might be a victory for human rights advocates, but however, is it a judgment that is also a victory for the people of South Africa? What are your thoughts?
Ke nyakile ho etsa mistake wa robala before ke bolela ka taba ya Operation Dudula. I get Operation Dudula has been masquerading as being patriotic, has been masquerading and saying bona they are upholding the constitution. Meanwhile, they are breaking it left, right, and center. But they can say middle center, baroba milao ya constitution. So the court has ruled they don't have a right to go to clinics, to go to schools, wherever, and request to see people's identities. Okay? So people that are vulnerable, ifedile. So, like, I hope we are done with this thing, because that's the only thing that they were offering South Africans. Unless they're gonna rebrand, and find something else that they can work with. Mara no, they just got a harsh reality azlali lana. I mean, come on, azlani. Like, there's so many things that we should be worrying about, not this nonsense. But anyway, now I'm so happy with this verdict. I knew very obvious they are breaking the law. Like, obviously, but doing constitution, but no roba vele ba busy ba he constitution. Motsate ngatsebele constitution king asanga tla ibona lo ibona go bophilong ba hae maro busy constitution. So it's a good night. Yeah. It's a very good night.
Today, the Gauteng High Court of South Africa made a landmark decision. It has barred Dudula, and by extension, any other political party, be it Patriotic Alliance, Put South Africa First, MK, or any of these other groups that might want to go out and bar foreigners from getting services, discriminating them, or harassing them in their course of business, their lives, or in their normal conduct. They have been barred from targeting foreigners. They've been barred from targeting foreigners for discrimination, for abuse, for harassment, and for trying to stop them from getting access to healthcare, schools, or any other basic human right. According to the judge, the targeting of foreigners, their harassment, their terrorization is a human rights violation that deprives them of their right to dignity, privacy, and freedom. And as such, anybody that is undertaking this activity commits a crime against humanity and contravenes the South African Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the universal human rights that South Africa has acceded to by signing human rights agreements and covenants. The ruling goes further to barring South African police from arbitrarily stopping people and asking them for their IDs, because that is a contravention of their right to freedom and their right to dignity. So now the South African police can no longer do what they had been doing, which is going out into the streets, looking at how people are dressed, looking at people's skin color, and then asking them for their documents without reasonable cause or without any form of criminal activity that they're suspecting to have been done by this person. This was a form of discrimination, it was a form of segregation, and this has been disallowed by the courts. So despite the allegations that the ANC and South African leadership have been involved in this discrimination and abuse of foreigners, this now becomes case law. And so South African government officials are enjoined to uphold the Constitution and the laws of South Africa by arresting anybody that continues to discriminate or to terrorize and target foreigners in South Africa. Every nation that has been destabilized by war previously started by abusing minorities. Let's keep ruling.
Hello Mzansi, welcome to Mkosasa Mzansi. If today is your first time visiting this channel, please do the right thing and click the subscribe button. I-High Court irola i-Operation Dudula as unlawful, but abafuni phenze babone ama-members e-Operation Dudula lapha emakliniki, etikolweni, tibhedlela or anywhere vimba abantu bokuqhamuka ukuthi bangakhoni ukungena because lo labakonta kokho emthethweni. Guys, kukhona emthethweni yini ngokuthi ama-foreigners setela South Africa ngalokungekho emthethweni? Khona emthethweni yini ngokuthi ama-foreigners atodla i-tax yabantu lababhadala i-tax, kokuthi ama-foreigners atohlala la South Africa illegally? Nguphi umthetho labawuphula kubantu be-Operation Dudula if already umthetho bese uphulwe yini bosophulwe bantu boqhamuka? Clearly government yala Mzansi it's defending ma-foreigners, beyabadefenda nje ama-foreigners. They are so happy, they are excited, ajabulile makwerekwere lapha enkundleni yokuxhumana kokuthi Operation Dudula bathi ayingasabavimbi emakliniki, etibhedlela, ayingasabavimbi anywhere, bathi abatitanasele njena batendele mathanza la South Africa. Bathi ma-foreigners awaphile ngendlela afuna ukuphila ngakhona, awente ebugebengu, atshontshe amaphilisi ala Mzansi ahambe nawo emaveni abo. Guys, South Africa, it's a joke. Please do comment what you think below down on the comment section. I'm signing out. Goodbye.